How's it going, Reef Keepers? Sorry if you can hear a little buzzing sound in the background. I am just making RODI water for the week. But before I run out of time, I've got a dinner date with my wife tonight. I wanted to go ahead and give you a little update on something that I posted about on Instagram, but has continued. So it's kind of funny. Let you take a look at the tank real quick. Things are stabilizing. Things are really doing much better. Oh man, the Elegance is extremely happy with a change that I recently enacted with my lights that I'm going to make a separate video on. But I have done some serious work with the lights, and I'm going to make a video all about it and about what happened damaging certain corals with way too much light and kind of how I turned that situation around. But for now, I want to focus on an update on these guys right here, and they're probably going to go, you can see the face sticking out. There's two faces sticking out. So these two clownfish were the very first fish that I ever bought when I got seriously into the reef keeping hobby 6 years ago. So they're 6 years old. They've been a pair forever. And these clownfish, like so many clownfish in reef aquariums that people are just confused by and don't understand, they hung out in the corner of the tank. Like, they would hang out here or they would hang out down over there, and they would just swim in one spot, sometimes together, sometimes they get in a fight and they'd be on opposite ends of the tank. Most of the time they were right next to each other, and they really did nothing unless it was feeding time. And then here they would come. And because they were kind of like up high and away or up high and away, when you looked at the tank, you know, your focal points are drawn all to the coral and where the larger fish are swimming in the more open areas. So you really didn't see them. And it kind of defeats the purpose of clownfish when clownfish behave that way in a reef tank where they're swimming just in one corner. Or they're like, you know, hosting with a power head, or like, or a return nozzle, or whatever. And people express frustration. I see all the time. I can't help that frustration other than to say stick with it, because now look, this might be a problem for some people. Some people might be really upset that like a nice Duncan coral has become the, you know, chosen spot for their clownfish. I don't really care. You know, I don't want an anemone in this tank. I have no interest in that. And that's a super healthy Duncan, and it's a little bit retracted from them being inside of it, but it still comes out and extends every day, and they've been doing this for a while, and it's, you know, not been a big deal. It doesn't seem to be hurting the coral. Duncans are pretty resilient, and you guys know I have a large Duncan here and a fast-growing Duncan here. So I'm covered on Duncans. Like, you know, if this Duncan suffers a little bit, but it gives the clownfish a spot where they feel secure so that they're hovering around it all the time and they're being funny like they are right now and kind of like nosing through it and poking their little heads out. This is a much more interesting situation with clownfish than I have ever had. And I like my clownfish. I was always disappointed that they didn't come out more. And, you know, when I get close to the tank, they dart in there now, which is, you know, I wish I had a better zoom so I could stand far away from the tank and zoom in on these guys so that you could see how they kind of hover all around it throughout the day. But I'm real happy with the fact that, you know, they're actually doing clownfish things. Like they are meant to be doing clownfish things like they're doing here with this Duncan coral. So see, one of them just popped out when I walked away. Now they're going to go back in. That's cool to me. That's kind of how it's supposed to be. It's not a nem, but who cares? You know, as far as anybody else who's not in the reef keeping hobby is concerned, when they walk into your house, it might as well be an anemone. Half the people who see my reef tank are like, oh, where'd you get your cool plants? You know, like, whatever. I think it's cool, and just wanted to shoot a little update video on it and let you people who are frustrated with your clownfish and their behavior know, just hang on for like 6 years, and eventually it's gonna get better. Unless it's a coral that you love and then they're going to do this to it all day, and they're going to kill it. So clownfish are awesome. I do love my clowns. I kid. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I probably won't post anything through the weekend. But yeah, tank's doing great. I'm feeling good. Yeah, ready to go for another week of aquarium maintenance and reef keeping, socials, and everything else to do with life in the hobby. Have a good one, guys.